Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition or another connection point that the Cochrane Sport Network and Sport for Life Cochran is having within our sport community. And today we are so fortunate to be joined with Courtney Sproule from Snapdowns Studios, who is also the co-chair of the Cochrane Sport Network. So thank you, Courtney, so much for taking time today to give us a little bit of insight about what's going on in your world, as well as maybe what drove you to become so involved within the collaboration and networking that the Cochrane Sport Network has had. My name is Ashley Fox, and I'm a Sport for Life Cochran board member, and I'm so pleased today to that we can dive in. So Courtney, right off the bat, I want you to give us just a little bit of an introduction to the then, like where did Snapdowns come to be in our community, maybe a little bit even about yourself and how that's the part of that then. And then if you can take us along the journey to the now, what's going on right now for you all and you personally, as well as a leader in our community.
Sure. Yeah. I've actually had a studio in town for around 18 years. But Snap came to be when we merged two studios 12 years ago. We're going into our 12th year. And so we decided we needed a new name. So we called it Snapdowns Studios. And back then, I mean, it's always been for us about obviously dance lessons. That's what we do. But I think over the years, we've really grown into understanding that it's for us, it's about fabulous dancers, but also exceptional kids. So it's those life lessons that you get along with the dance moves that matter just as much, because we feel that we're raising the next, city planners and nurses and doctors of the world. And our kids have gone on to do really big things in the world. And so their time with us really matters to get to help shape them.
So right now in town then, where are you located? And what does your space look like as far as being able to offer programs and services?
Sure. So we actually have two locations. So, but they're right around the corner from each other. So our main location is on Railway Street, 69 Railway Street East. And then just around the corner on River Avenue, we have our third studio goes there. And yeah, so we have two at the main location and one over around the corner.
So Courtney, why dance? What role did dance play in your life? And you've certainly given us or painted us a really beautiful picture of the role that dance can play in developing healthy, young, engaged children. But what has dance done for you?
Yeah, I grew up dancing and I just loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. I had two siblings who danced, so I also learned the lessons of you can't do it all and there's not enough money for you to do it for everyone, so you have to choose. And it made me really grateful for what I was able to do. And I traveled around the world with dance as a youngster too. We went to Australia twice, I've been all over Europe. We've danced at Euro Disney and Australian music festivals. I've been to Hawaii. So I was really fortunate to be able to do that. I worked downtown, and this was kind of my side job, and it just grew into my full time job. And I really took what I learned kind of in the corporate world, brought it into our business, but then really have focused in on our the deeper meaning of dance. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's one aha or big learning you've had since owning a dance studio?
Well, I think going through COVID was probably it. Just honestly, it was hard and it was challenging. But I remember at the beginning of last year saying to people, like, what we're offering to you is certainty for your child, to have something to belong to have a community to be a part of, to continue to be active, even sometimes at home. And we know that's not ideal. Zoom dance was not ideal, and conditioning, but it was better than quitting or better than not having anything to belong to or look forward to. And in those last 2 weeks of June, when those kids got to compete 3 times and do 2 recitals, I have just never seen kids so thrilled and so happy. And we're really lucky that we got to kind of close that circle last year. So my aha moment was just that you can go through really hard times, but we just have such an amazing culture and community here that we were just really lucky to get through it together and kind of move onwards and upwards.
Awesome, which transitions really nice to my next question for you, which is what does the future hold? maybe the future as in like the next few months? And then where do you see the Snapdowns in community impacting our bigger community in Cochrane?
Yeah, well, community is actually one of our core values. So, community is our core value. So is more than just dance. It's about more than just dance, being progressive and on top of things, and then of course respecting each other in the space. But we really have always encouraged community, and performing at the seniors centers, being part of the parades, connecting with. We just won the parade most entertaining for the Labor Day, and so we let our community choose where we donated our money, and we chose the Boys and Girls Club. So, and even with our intensive teams, community is the first value that we're looking at, like teaching the kids along with lessons. Every 2 months we have a new life skill that we're tying into everything. So in community, we're having our older intensive teams kind of decide how they want to give back to the community and what kind of project they're going to do. So yeah, like community is everything. And something big that's coming up for us is the Nutcracker. Should this all, with COVID, who knows what the ups and downs we're going to have, but we're preparing for hopefully a huge full-scale production of the Nutcracker at Rock Point Church, December 4th and December 11th. Tickets will go on sale in November, but it's going to be unbelievable. We have such a talented group of, all of our kids are super talented, but a really strong group and a large group of graduates who all get to be the senior role and the senior, like the soloist roles. And we've ordered costumes and sets, and it's going to be incredible. So we're really excited to be able to come together and bring our whole Cochrane community together with that.
That is really exciting. December 4th and 11th, you said?
Yep.
Okay, we'll have to mark that on the calendar now. That's something definitely to look forward to for sure. So Courtney, you were a major driver in starting the Cochrane Sport Network. And what would you say that personally was for you? Like where some of maybe that drive came from? And then what do you think as a business owner and somebody providing a really great option to engage in physical activity in the community? Where did those motivations lie, both personally and professionally for you?
Personally, I just think whether it's dance or whether it's swimming or whether it's hockey or curling, or there's tons of really great sports in Cochrane, or activities, it's just, you can learn those life lessons anywhere. So I was just excited to become an advisory board member with Sport for Life Cochrane, and then just realizing there is this gap of we don't talk and we don't connect as activity and sport providers, and how can we do that? And not just connect, but how can we learn together? I mean, I know that's a big part of Sport for Life, and so if we can, as activity providers, collaborate more now as well, collaborate and learn and connect. I just it was a no-brainer for me to do that. So yeah, it's just I'm really excited at the work that we've done and the groups that have become involved, and I hope we can reach broader and have more activities and providers as well, because I just think you can consider yourself a competitor with each other, which I suppose you can look at it that way, but I just look at it as we are a group of people doing great things for youth and for adults as well, and how can we work together and be greater together?
Yeah, well, that's awesome, and we really appreciate your support in driving that. The other thing that I think you were a part of, and a lot of the Sport for Life Cochrane Advisory Board is the Community Better Challenge that we hosted in June. And one thing that we heard from people is sometimes they just don't know what's going on, right? Is that I think we live in a very high-paced and high media-oriented environment these days, and sometimes it's hard to make a decision of where to, what to engage in as a family, and what's going to be the best choice. And we want to be healthy, we want to engage in those behaviors at home, but we just don't know where. And so exactly to your point, is dance provides such a great discipline, practice, confidence and motivation building. But maybe dance is the transition to pickleball, or maybe dance is the transition to triathlon, or we don't know those things. But if we can work together, I think we'll see more synergy, and hopefully quiet some of that noise for people who do want to engage in healthy behaviors as a family or as an individual. So That's great.
And even to add to that, I just think the idea of multi-sport too. Like,
Mm.
can we do pickleball, dance, and swimming? You know what I mean? Like, because that's great too. There are people who love to specialize here, and of course, we love to grow that talent. But it's also great to have a dancer once a week or for an 8-week session, and we can build their skills that way, and then another sport can build their skills in another way. So that whole idea of multi-sport as well, I think, is really important.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. So how can the Cochrane community stay connected to what's going on at Snapdowns?
Sure. So we have Instagram, obviously, at snapdancestudios.com. We also have snapdancestudios.com on Facebook. We also are on TikTok.
Oh, well, if that's not the perfect connection, TikTok scares me, but if that's not okay, all
It
right.
scares me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on there as well. We're just sort of, but that's what youth is into. And so if we want to be able, I think, as sport providers and activity providers, if we want to reach them, we've got to be on top of that stuff, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then do you have a newsletter that you send out, or is that mostly to members?
That's mostly to members, but we have our
Okay.
website, Snapdance
Oh,
Studios.
your website. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And from our social handles, or yeah, just call us or email if you have any questions or you want to join in. And we have, short sessions. We have trial classes too. If you just want to come try something, we'd love to have you. So.
Oh, that's awesome. And sometimes it's um we just don't know until we try,
Right.
even a different discipline of something as well.
Yeah.
Um, so we will definitely share out all of those ways for everybody to stay connected. And I think that whether it's attending the Nutcracker to maybe expose your family to dance, or taking part in a program, there's lots of great options coming from your organization. So my last question for you today, Courtney, is just one maybe piece of advice or final thought for the Cochrane sport community. So now speaking more to your peers, those that maybe come to the Cochrane Sport Network, or those who haven't joined yet but are looking at elevating the amount of networking and collaboration they're doing in the community. What would you say to the Cochrane sport community?
You have to join the sport network. Yeah, I just think it's going to be such a great group. Yeah, and so get involved and join. It can be, you can come. We have meetings twice every 2 months, and you don't have to attend. If it's not a huge commitment. Of course, you have to attend, but not on. Like if you have to miss a meeting, it's not a huge deal. But the more people we can have involved and be a part of that voice too. And learning and connecting and learning and collaborating, the better. So yeah, join. That would be my piece of advice.
Yeah, well, I love that. Thank you so much for your time, and so much for what you're doing for the Cochrane community. As a first time parent now joining all these programs, I just have to say that our experience with Snapdance was second to none. It was exceptional. So if we can say that from a year of Zoom dance, I'm excited to see what a year in person is like as well. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing what comes for the Cochrane Sport Network this year.
Yeah, thank you.